Anyway, 803-0550, Pete Gwelly coming up in about 20 minutes, bottom of the hour, on the stadium and the ribbon-cutting ceremony. We've talked a little bit today about Connor Hellebuyck and this idea that seems to be, I don't know if it's picking up steam, but now that Tkachuk has been dealt, and I think the report on Dylan Larkin is it's going to take a while, who's the next big name to go? Is it Hellebuyck? Like Matthew Barzal's name's been out there.
We know Larkin wants to be traded, but it sounds like Yzerman's going
to take a while.
He's going to, dig in on that.
I put up a Twitter poll that simply asks this. Hellebuyck, yes, of course. Yes, but maybe no. No, but maybe yes. And definitely no. Definitely no has less than 7% of the vote. So everybody has a little amount of yes in there. 33% yes, of course. 33% yes, but maybe no. 27% no, but maybe yes, and then 7% no. And I got a comment here. Every issue we have with re-signing Tuck, we have with trading for Hellebuyck. And I actually followed up and said, well, why? What are the issues with Tuck that would be similar to Hellebuyck? And it was a 3-bullet-pointed case against Hellebuyck. Expensive, even older, and a playoff choker. The case against Hellebuyck, to which I would say, just pushing back quickly and get your guys' thoughts on this, not expensive, 8.5 for 5 years.
Not for Shesterkin makes $3 million more per year than he does, and Hellebuyck will make $2 million less, $3 million less than what Tuck is going to make.
Yeah, not expensive, prohibitive.
For only 5 years instead
the
of
price
8.
for trading for him, you could make a case. Number 2, even older. Goalie age curve is not the same.
No.
Hellebuyck's 33, Vasilevsky's 31.
Yeah. Oh, and you've talked about this. Like
goalies play.
Great goalies play until they're 38, 39 years old all the time.
Yeah, it's a very different. It's a different sport in there. It's just a completely different game.
Yeah,
so it's very different.
Age not prohibitive to me. Position age curve not prohibitive. And then on the playoff choker point, this one, it kind of is the hardest one to dispel. Just because he does not have a ton of playoff success. He did, however, win the biggest hockey game in a generation. By himself almost.
I have a question for you guys. If you were, based on his reputation, what would you estimate his playoff numbers look like through his career? I will go through his numbers here, and you tell me if these are bad numbers.
Playoff choker?
Playoff choker, right?
Yeah.
A notorious, awful playoff performer, Connor Hellebuyck.
Yeah.
2017-18, he had 17 games, 2.36 GAA, and a .922 save percentage.
That's pretty good.
Fantastic.
That's pretty awesome. The 2018-19 playoffs, 6 games played, 2.67 GAA, and a .913 save percentage.
Good.
Pretty good.
Solid.
The next year, 4 games, 304, .904 save percentage. Not as great, but still,
Fine.
That is survivable.
Yep.
Baseline.
The next year, 8 games, 2.23, .931.
Amazing.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, amazing.
22-23, 5 games, 3.4, .886. Bad year.
Bad.
Next year, 5 games, 5.23, .870. The worst year.
Bad.
And then 13 games in 24-25, 3.08, .866. Also not very good.
Bad. Yep.
Okay. But there are 4 years of 900-plus goaltending out of this guy. It is not a historic, consistent issue. He's had a 3-year dip, which I think could probably be a lot of his team got old because they did. When he was going on those deep runs in 17-18 to 21-22, that was the prime of that Winnipeg team. They were awesome. It was Dustin Byfuglien and Wheeler and Scheifele in his prime. These Ehlers was there.
Who did they run up against? Because a lot of times we'll just talk about a team they lost. All right, but who did they run up against? Who did they lose to?
I don't remember them playing like juggernauts, but they lost to, working backwards, they lost to Dallas in the second round after beating St. Louis. They lost to Colorado the year before that. They lost to Vegas the year before that. So the three bad playoff years, right? It was three bad ones. Those seasons, he played Vegas, Colorado, and then St. Louis and Dallas.
Okay.
So actually, three incredible teams. I wouldn't put St. Louis in that category, but I would with Dallas, and I would with Colorado, and I absolutely would with Vegas. So, yeah, that's affected it too, is he's played a stronger level of opponent in the first round, right? Because you're on a team where you're the 7 or 8 seed, or you're the wild card team, and you're playing the best team in the conference generally going in. The only year they weren't that, they were the President's Trophy, and they won the first round.
Right.
and they beat St. Louis.
And how much of winning the President's Trophy? He was the MVP, right?
He was the MVP.
Yeah.
That
So, like,
trophy, Vezina.
So there's a point to be made here to say, like, well, he's always been the underdog, except for the year they won the President's Trophy, in which case he was the reason they weren't the underdog.
Correct.
Right? Like, he's why they won that.
Right.
They won the Hart.
And I continue to think that when you look at some of those playoff seasons, there's a correlation between he didn't play 70 games, 60-plus games that season, and then he went into the playoffs and looked pretty good.
Yeah.
And that at this point in his career, you would say, we don't need you to play 65 games because we're trying to make sure you're fresh for the playoffs. And I'm not sure he's ever had that in the last 5 years in Winnipeg.
No, the 3 bad years were 64 games, 60 games, 63 games.
Right. Like,
Nobody plays that much.
Carrying the team all year long, playing more games than anybody else in the sport, except maybe, Vasilevsky? Like, there's a couple of guys only that play that many games. Yeah. And he gets to the playoffs, and, again, like, that's not to say you couldn't do it and that he shouldn't deserve some criticism. Vasilevsky plays that many games, and he had some excellent playoff campaigns, and then he actually has had some bad playoff seasons in a row.
Exactly.
And is it the same thing for him? Like, don't play your goalie 65 games anymore. Like, you're not going to get the best results when you get to the long postseason, and that's where I would say, all right, the playoff choker point. There might even be credibility to that. But I'm hoping that if Alex Lyon and Colton Ellis are his backup goaltenders, you're going to come here. I'm not going to play you 65 games. I'm going to play you 50 and hope that you are in better shape by the time we get to April and May.
Right.
All these conversations around goalie are so funny, and all these conversations around offseason. The offseason is just all of us talking ourselves out of ideas, right?
Right.
Here's why this is not good. Here's why this is not good. And I get it. Like, you're trying to avoid going backward and going in the wrong direction. But it's like, I've got, careful, Hellebuyck's got a couple of bad playoff years in there. Oh, okay. So the plan instead should be to go for an absolute nobody because I saw a nobody have a good playoff year this year. Was Freddie Anderson before this year?
Did he have a
playoff choker, right? And then he ultimately does leave the lineup, and they go to Brandon Bussey, who is a guy that was on waivers. So I feel like I speak for myself here too. Like, I'm not talking, negatively about anybody out there how they feel about goalie. I simultaneously think, it's voodoo, but you can still have better bets than others.
Yes.
The comparison I always want to make is golfers, right? Scottie Scheffler did not win the U.S. Open. He was close, and Rory had a bad round on Thursday and had a good round on Friday. He still remains one of the 3 best golfers. Like, you're not going to get the same outcome every single tournament, every single year, every single playoffs. There are a lot of factors and a lot of randomness built in. But, like, who's a better bet than Hellebuyck? UPL and Lyon? There's a world where they have a better playoffs in 2027 than Hellebuyck does. But I gotta take chances. I'm going to say it like that. I've got to try. I've got to try to have a better team than I just had. And what's the most likely way to get to a better team than I just had? It might not be Hellebuyck, but it's a pretty simple case to make that it is a way to have a better team.
Mm-hmm. I am trying to chase winning the Stanley Cup. Am I not? If I'm the Buffalo Sabres?
You should be.
I've got a good team. Yeah. I'm trying to win the Cup. And I want to be chasing ceilings, not being afraid of floors. And the ceiling, if you get peak Hellebuyck, you get the best of him in a playoff run as a Vezina, 3-time Vezina winner, Hart Trophy winner, best goalie of his generation. Is he on the Mount Rushmore at the position all time? Like, Hall of Famer, gold medal game. He was incredible. Carrying a Winnipeg team to the playoffs countless times. If I get that guy to be at his best in a playoff run, I can win the Stanley Cup.
Oh, yeah.
I can absolutely win the Stanley Cup. And I might not even have to be at my A game.
No.
If he's at his, that is where, like, the correction on, hey, maybe I'm not playing my best. But the Sabres could almost, I feel like, play their B-plus game in a postseason run. And if he's at his A-plus, you can win the Stanley Cup. And I don't think that's true of their goalies right now. I think they have to be playing at their absolute best to ever win the Stanley Cup with their current roster.
Right. But Hellebuyck is entirely capable of the 21 Carey Price final run. That, like, this guy's just single-handedly going to drag this pile of parts into the final. And it wasn't enough to win him it because, Tampa was a buzzsaw. But, like, Carey Price single-handedly dragged the Montreal Canadiens to the Stanley Cup final. It was incredible. It probably capped off. It did. It capped off a Hall of Fame career. They saw him get in yesterday. That is what you've got here in Hellebuyck. And all you've got to do is just go out there and say, listen, I know it's going to cost us. I know it could be risky, and there's 5 years left on the deal. But the guy is a stud.
Yeah.
And that's the reality of it. And if you want to do it, you want a stud. And he's there to be had. And you how often do you get that guy available? That goaltender.
Right.
That does not happen. Vasilevsky has been in Tampa his whole career.
I also think there's when it comes to we didn't lose because of goaltending, we didn't lose because this, it all reminds me of our conversations about how the Bills lost. Oh, we didn't lose because of the defense. We didn't lose because of this. The offense didn't score. 30 points should be enough, right? Why did Vegas lose in the final? You might not say Carter Hart, or you might. Carter Hart gave up 4 goals every single night.
Yeah.
Vegas made the Cup final with Carter Hart finishing with 2 goals above expected, saved above expected according to Money Puck. 2 total. 2. What did Carolina have in that department over the entire playoffs? 12. That's 10 playoff goals kept out of the net by one team. Again, it's not in the series.
Right,
it's the whole playoff.
Through the playoff run.
But the point is, what does the series turn on? A goal. What do the Sabres need? The Sabres in goals save above expected on Money Puck. Lyon and Luukkonen combined for .4 in their 2 rounds. Not even a full goal saved above expected. You can feel like you stole game 1, and then in game 2 you gave up 1 or 2 softies, and that game was toast in the second period because you gave up 2 in the first. And it didn't feel like a soft goal in overtime, but you lost the game because in the first period you're down 2-0. And a team like that can lock you down. So, I don't know. I'm emotional about it. I want them to do something that inspires us. Really, there's another part of that too. If Hellebuyck, again, fully understanding this as emotion and not the most analytical approach. But if the Sabres were to get Connor Hellebuyck to waive his no move and come here, that is pretty significant on the step ladder to this team is here to win. Right?
Yes.
In an era where these guys are choosing 5 teams, and the best goalie available in a long time was able to say, actually, you know what? They'll go there. A place where no one will waive. I'll go there. I don't know. It would feel pretty great.
It'd be unbelievable.
You'd hope he still has it.
Right.
It would feel like you've arrived. It would feel like the playoff season undoing a lot of the no trade list stuff and you're not a destination and all of that would be undone immediately by one guy giving credibility to that idea, because that has not happened yet. We hope that it's true, and I want to believe that it is, that the players are more willing to come here now than they were just because of the season they just had. But we haven't seen it in action yet, and maybe we'll see that in action next week. But so far this offseason, we've got Tuck wants to leave, Byram wants to leave, and Kesselring wanted to leave. Benson's going to get offer sheeted. So far we don't have anything to say, it is different. I still believe it is, but let's see some evidence of it. And there would be no greater evidence of that than Hellebuyck. You mentioned Price. Price is kind of the evidence of both the position aging well and aging poorly.
Yeah.
Price was 33 when he carried Montreal to the Stanley Cup final. He was the same age that Hellebuyck is right now.
Right.
He never played poorly. To the end of his career, he was still really good. They discovered a defect in his knee that he had to retire from. So that's that's both, right? That you don't know. A guy could have a career-ending injury and be done at 34 years old, and then if you had traded the bag for him, you look like idiots at the end of it. But Price is also evidence of it wasn't really slowing down. The last time we saw him, he was still incredible.
Right. But that could happen to Yuri Kulik, who had a blood clot this year at 22 years old and missed a whole year. That is a risk you take with all athletes in every sport. That is just that is the base layer risk. And obviously it goes up as you go up in age, but it's there all the time. So if that's what you're scared of, then I don't know, then this maybe isn't a conversation for you, because you need to understand that is something that happens to everybody.
And what's funny is that Price, they discovered that defect when they had surgery to repair a torn meniscus.
Right.
That's when they discovered it. Hellebuyck just had surgery last year on a torn meniscus. But I think he's good. right? Like there's no talk of any concern about injury for him going forward. It sounds like he's just good to go.
Yeah.
So I think there's no long-term injury question that I feel like is out there right now with him.
No. Not that I've read about, heard,
Nope.
whatever.
803-0550, 1-888-550-2550. NFL content season approaching. The top 100 is back. The NFL top 100 players.
So my first question is, are they doing it like they did last year where they were releasing like 3 names per day over like 3 months?
I regret to inform you they are doing it exactly as they did last year, which is 2 names at a time. Now listen, you might be someone that says like the content machine is undefeated and we should welcome a break from the content machine, but the top 100 players in the NFL has started. We have number 190, number 99.
Oh, it's already begun.
Yeah, it started. 2 a day.
I mean, how could you
It's
possibly?
2 per day.
How could you possibly?
It
guess?
used to be 10 at a time.
Yeah.
And then you could get takes like, you're telling me that Tua is better than so-and-so because you'd have 10 names. Now what you get is 2 at a time.
What are the positions?
In this one,
Yeah.
Defensive end and guard.
Okay.
Number
who are
100
they?
is a guy that didn't retire but thought he might. Cam Jordan is number 100, and Quentin Nelson is number 99.
Cool. Cool. Yeah.
Tomorrow will be 97 and 98, and you'll already forget who these 2 were. And then 95 and 96, like, you remove the entire ability for us to argue with each other.
Yeah.
To yell at Ravens fans about, yeah, Kyle Hamilton's overrated. Now it's just like nobody, I can't even believe they still do it like this. Whatever. Yeah. What do you think, Joe? Quentin Nelson overrated? He made the list. He'd been off for a couple of years.
He's
for
a big
whatever
name.
reason. He is.
He's a big name. Cam Jordan, he shouldn't be on the list. He criticized Josh Allen, didn't he?
Maybe.
In the offseason? Didn't he say something bad about Allen?
He did.
Cam Jordan is
What
good.
was it?
Is good.
He's very good.
What did Cam Jordan say?
He said
Cam Jordan's like Calais Campbell, where he's just good 15 years deep. He's still good. What do you say? Take him off the list.
I'm listening back to the clip now. One moment.
I've looked at under fire after controversial Josh Allen statement. So I'm getting closer.
He might have said,
It was on First Take.
he might have said, I don't think he's the best quarterback to play ever. And you can get under fire for
He said this is what he was under fire for. Josh Allen, if I thought anything, I thought this year was the year. I said all these guys are out. It's his time, and he proved what I thought about him. He plays excellent during the season. He shows up. He's Superman, but at the same time, he can't win those big games. That's what he said.
Yeah. Well, you know, what are you going to do? 803-0550. Something I was going to mention just there. What was it? Might have been about Cam Jordan.
Was it about Quentin Nelson being overrated?
No.
How dare they put Quentin Nelson on
I know
the
what
top
it was.
100?
Where will Josh finish? NFL top 100. Who will be number 1?
Myles Garrett will be number 1.
Yeah, he set the sack record.
That's my guess.
All right.
I feel like quarterback hasn't been number
Who
one
will
very often.
who will be the number 1 quarterback? Will it be Josh this year? I bet it will. I would bet that it is. It's not Mahomes. It's not Lamar. They did not have the years for it.
Shouldn't be Lamar off that season. Yeah, I think Allen. All right, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, who else would it be? It's not going to be Stafford. It's not going to be Drake May.
It will be very interesting to see where May goes.
Yeah.
How much respect will he get from the fellow players immediately, right? 803-0550. Ribbon cutting today at Highmark Stadium. Pete Gwelly joins us on the other side here on WGR.